I was booked at a Radio City Music Hall in the Easter show. I was Alice in Easterland. We did 3 to 5 shows a day, 7 days a week for 5 weeks. Close to 1 million people came to see the Easter show. And it was very exciting, but very scary because there are 6,000 seats. At every show, there were 6,000 people. So I created a whole speaking career on stage fright and getting rid of it and everything from what I learned at Radio City Music Hall, because it was a tremendous challenge. But the following year, I went on a cruise ship. I used to sing on cruise ships. And I met my husband, Don Kulf, on the TSS Olympia, the Greek ship Olympia. And would you believe that in 1964, his ship came into New York Harbor, and he went to Radio City Music Hall to see a Peter Sellers movie, because they would show a movie and then the stage show and then a movie and a stage show. So that's why you did so many stage shows, because they were not too long, and then the movie would play, and then you'd relax and wait for the next one. He was in the audience before he met me, and he saw this little, I was about 31 years old, and I looked 12, and I had a ponytail, you know, and I was a really good Alice. And I had this nice voice, you know, well-trained, and at the end of each show, I would climb into the basket of the balloon, strap myself in, and the balloon would rise up to the top of Radio City Music Hall. And I would look down, I'd be waving, and they'd be waving up to me, and everybody would be snapping pictures and everything. It was very exciting. But I was always glad to come back down to the stage. I mean, it was really high up. So here I am on this ship, and it was 3 days into the trip, and I met my husband on the 3rd day, and he heard me rehearsing down before I met him on the ship. He was managing the gift shops. There were 2 gift shops, and he's English and very handsome, and then he was just knockout gorgeous and charming and so sweet and so nice. And so I met him on that day, and he invited me to come to the shop to see the shop and to see him. And we had our first date that night, and we were together ever since, you know, the rest of the cruise. And then he finished up his assignment on that ship, and he gave his notice that he was not coming back. And he came to New York City, and we were married 6 months later. And then Jillian was born very soon after that, because I was 31, and let's get started. Let's not waste any time. I want to have a family. And of course, she's my firstborn, and then Nancy is the second. And it was the beginning of a new life.